audio from here?
No, but so me and see you. Me and see you.
That's good information.
Yeah, but you supposed to tell me island tea.
No, remember.
No, that's why I was telling me when I logged in before. The same thing. That's why I tell you.
No, it wasn't island.
He was telling me. I don't know what he said. No. How much participants here? Especially 2 hours here. You know, going on. Good evening. Do you want to know what's happening in sport? A weekly talk show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and of course your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On the Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you are in your neck of the woods. Welcome to another edition of On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. I am Troy Bif Mills, and it's another beautiful Tuesday here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And oh boy, would you believe October nearly finished? And we're heading fast and furiously towards the 12th month in the year. Well, a lot of people say a lot of things about the first month, the second month, but we know they are really joking. When it comes to the best month of the year, the first, second, and third, it will be ranked. It's December, because December does two things. It allows the entire year to come to an end, to close off that year, and you can't start a new year before you have the end. So the ending is to close off the year and allow for the beginning of the new year. So that's two things December have over every other month. And we're not going to talk about Carnival, and we're not going to talk about Christmas, and we're not going to talk about Sagittarians, the best people, etc., in the world. But wow, I said October, and today is the 8th. So this is definitely the anniversary program for us here at On the Ball and WINN FM 98.9. We started on the 10th of October 2023, a year that seems like just yesterday or last week. And two things happened. Initially, when we started, the program was 1 hour long, and it was every other week. So we had two programs in October, one on the 10th and the other on the 24th. And both of them were 1 hour long. But afterwards, persons felt that, hey, the program was too good to be one, so short, and two, not being every week. And so management decided to change it to a weekly program and 2 hours instead. And we've been getting a lot of great reviews about the program since. And this is not just a regular sports show. It is a show where we invite national associations, athletes, selectors, coaches, the man on the street to get their views. We just don't give you scores, who won, how much, and who scored what goal, etc., etc. We go a little more. We try to give you information. We try to educate you, like what is an LBW or what is an offside, for example, in football, LBW in cricket. And we also try to add a little entertainment to it. I'm hoping I'll be able to do some degree of 5-10% maybe of entertainment to make you smile, laugh, and say, well, yes, I enjoyed the program. And even if I'm not, you could always send me a WhatsApp, 866-668-2055, or if you're out of the Federation of St. Kitts and the Nevis, send it on 869-668-2055 and share your views, share your comments, your observations, and of course your suggestions with us. We gladly appreciate it. And be frank. And that's all we're asking. Be frank and honest with us. And don't tell us it's a 3 when it's an E when it's a 3 or 6 when it's a 9. If it's -3, tell us it's -3. So we'll strive for improvement. We encourage the corporate community to come on board and sponsor the program because we can't keep going unless we have that sponsorship, and that's important. Please call our marketing department here at WINN FM 98.9, 466-8596, where we'll be able to work out a package for you. And the thing is to have you come on board. Obviously, we like you to sponsor the entire program for a period of time, but if you would want to sponsor the first hour, the second hour, or the first half hour, whatever you would want, we have a solution for you. So we'll provide something for you. If you want to sponsor it the first Tuesday in every month, that's okay. We will work something out with you. If you're celebrating happy birthday today, we say happy birthday to you. Anniversary, happy anniversary. If you have received some good news, achieved something, a promotion, a new position, a job, something, we say congratulations to you. And of course, if you're going through a period of bereavement, if you've lost a loved one, on behalf of the management and staff, the board of directors, and myself and my producer for On the Ball, we extend condolences to you, and may the soul of your loved one rest in peace. And speaking of that, in Sandy Point, we've had quite a few deaths over the past few weeks. I'm certain we're in the teens. And I think it's Friday. A gentleman, Mr. Williams, is going to be buried. And he played a bit of cricket. He taught in the Virgin Islands. He was like 80 years. So we say congratulations to him. A very close friend of my uncle, the late Andrew Weeks. And I'm certain my uncle Neville Manny Weeks, he's listening up in New York. Hey, Uncle Neville, what's up? Good night. And he was glued to the TV for the CPL. And he loved a bad cricket, boy. If anybody loves cricket more than Uncle Neville, it's Uncle Neville. That's how much he loves cricket. And he loves a bad football. And I believe I might have gotten a skill or two from him. Maybe a half a skill from Uncle Andy, I don't know. I perhaps got a 1%, 2% from my father. I understand he used to believe that he was a wicked paceman. But when he's bowling, you could actually see the ball coming through, the name on the ball, Stuart Surridge or whatever brand the name was. And see 5.5 ounces or whatever. And how slow he was. And when he batting, by the time he don't come forward, the ball done gone back to the wicketkeeper, gone to the bowler. Oh, it's all good. It's all fun. And we're going to have an excellent program. We are to have a guest with us tonight. And we seem to have a little challenge working out something here. My producer is still working on it. Hopefully by next week, week after next, we're going to get it resolved shortly. That's the connecting him on the program. He's not live in studio. Of course, the live part isn't an issue, it's the connection. But I encourage you to call in 466-0989, 662-0989 at any point in the program. Share your views, your considerations, your concerns, and we will be able to air it for you. Tonight we're hoping to have a little bit of cricket, a little bit of football, and talking about cricket. Where do we start? I'm going to start on the local scene. A few years ago, a gentleman by the name of Austin Williams from St. Kitts, he wrote a piece on Facebook. And we're going to have a little bit of chess, by the way. And he was lamenting about the state of affairs of cricket in St. Kitts. And that was October the 5th, 2019. So that's like 5 years ago. October 5th, 2019. And this was taken from his Facebook page. Austin Williams, former commissioner of police. Some call him the dancing policeman. When I hear the cries for Kittitians and divisions to be on the SKN Patriots cricket team, it makes me remember my disappointments with what is happening to our beloved cricket in St. Kitts and Nevis. This, and I think it's more St. Kitts. This outdoor game is mostly liked by children who have their dreams of becoming good cricketers even at a young age. So there they are from their tender age, from 8 to 16, in the various nurseries and academies to learn and develop their knowledge and skills of this glorious game, the game of glorious uncertainties. At this point, I start to feel sad. As I have observed that there is no area for the development and survival of their skills in St. Kitts and Nevis. And again, well, he says the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I think Nevis, they really have a good thing going. So I think he's primarily talking about St. Kitts. Little or no development plans are being put forward. As we watched this year, 8 beautiful months of cricket weather have gone with no meaningful or organized competition tournament in St. Kitts and Nevis. Therefore, dreams of our youngsters are shattered, cut short for any chance of being able to vie for the lucrative market of franchise cricket, that is the CPL or even further afield. In addition to the youngsters losing out, we are not able to develop scorers, umpires, commentators, etc. So if the administrators are just concentrating on international and regional matches, they must let us know. Tell us what is happening. We may not agree. We may argue, but at least tell us no. Tell us what's happening. I observed that this is what is being demonstrated. So let the fans and supporters know so they can decide their next steps. As I have observed the emotions amongst the fans, I wish to say that I don't think the associations are doing enough to preserve our cricketing pride. I hope that I can stimulate further thoughts and discussions, as not enough is being written or spoken about our island's cricket. And I could understand what he's saying. I could feel his pain. Because if we put this thing into perspective, really, the St. Kitts Cricket Association held their elections last year, April the 24th to be exact. And we're now down into a year, and that's 6 months, a year and a half. And the only cricket tournament that the St. Kitts Cricket Association would have organized was a tournament that lasted 7 days. It was a T20 competition played between 6 teams. So there were 5 match days, and then the day for the semi-finals and the other day for the finals. And that was last year, November. So something to me is wrong with that. We're not having any cricket. But cricketers complaining, scorers complaining, executive members, I've heard them complaining, the fans are complaining, but we're not doing anything about that. According to my memory, the Constitution of the St. Kitts Cricket Association states that elections are to be held between the first Thursday of November and the first Thursday of December in every even year. So it's 2016, 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024. So elections are constitutionally due this year between the first Thursday of November and the first Thursday in December, once I interpret it correctly. Whether or not that'll be happening, that's a different kettle of fish. We'll just have to wait and see how that works out. But we're still continuing in cricket, on the cricket scene. And boy, what a finals we had in the CPL between the... Well, before I go into the CPL, Global Super League T20 gets underway in Guyana on November 26th. Guyana there going ahead leaps and bounds. A new cricket tournament will launch in Guyana from the 26th November to 7th December 2024 with 5 teams from 5 different countries set to compete for a significant prize fund of US $1 million. This nearly sounds like a Stanford payout now. The event will feature the Guyana Amazon Warriors and 4 other established T20 teams from around the world. So I don't think they're talking about countries around the world. I am not certain if they are thinking about including any other Caribbean team, but no doubt they're thinking about, as an example, I don't know, the Mumbai Indians or whoever from the IPL, maybe somebody from South Africa, somebody from the Big Bash League in Australia. I don't know, but that is my interpretation of what they will be doing. This will be South America's first standalone cricket event and is sanctioned by Cricket West Indies. That's a very good thing. They want to see the development of cricket here in the West Indies, and is fully supported by the government of Guyana, who will be a key stakeholder in the tournament. The event will feature a mini league of 11 matches, with each team playing 4 matches, with the top 2 teams progressing to the final. All matches will take place at the Guyana National Stadium in Providence, with the event set to take place annually, featuring different teams from around the world being invited to take part each season. Her Excellency Mohammed Irfan Ali, His Excellency Mohammed Irfan Ali, the President of the Corporate Republic of Guyana, and remember, because they are a republic, the president, he is like the prime minister, said, I quote, "The Global Super League has the full support of the government of Guyana as we build a world-class sports tourism product. Cricket is part of our cultural history. It is that unifying force, part of our heritage, and an integral part of our strategic objective in economic diversification, with a strong emphasis on tourism. As Guyana positions itself as a global shaper in the energy, food, and climate landscape, we will use this platform to bring a world-class tournament to our shores." And this part is very interesting. I like that. Sir Clive Lloyd, chairman of Global Super League, said, I quote, yes, "I welcome cricket fans from around the world to this exciting new event. The passion for cricket in Guyana rivals that of fans anywhere, and we look forward to celebrating our love of the game and our rich and vibrant country with both those visiting in person and watching from around the world. I would like to thank His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali for his vision of a new cricket event for Guyana, one that will captivate the world." End of quote. And I think that is a massive thing happening in Guyana. And of course, having struck it big time with oil, they are indeed investing. And I am getting a sneaky position. We're going to see the opposite of what has been happening in the past. In the past, quite a few persons have been leaving Guyana, going to other countries. But I strongly suspect these guys will be going back home sometime very near. So I highly commend whoever came up with this idea. And I commend the government of Guyana, the Republic of Guyana, for coming on board and coming up with this. This is massive in my humble view. I think this is awesome, and they need to be commended highly for this. And I guess there's going to be a lot of speculation about which teams are going to play, who going to be where and what, etc., etc. But we will have to wait and see. Maybe they'll have a champion from England, maybe the 100 champion, I don't know, Sydney, Australia, and I'm giving my predictions as it were. I think one is going to come from India, Australia, England, that's 3, maybe South Africa, I don't know, and Afghanistan, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. And before we go back into some CPL, let's add a little diversification. Football. I'm a Man U fan, Man U to the world. And doing some research and preparing for this program, I came across a BBC article. BBC Sport, bbc.com/sport/football/articles, etc., etc. And it was written by Emmeline Begley on 7th October 2024. It's captioned, Man City versus Premier League legal case verdict, what it all means. And there was some issue about Man City having some violations of 100 and something codes of the spending and all kind of things. I think the Premier League, they're trying to bring a little equity in teams. They don't want some teams be able to spend $3 million on players and others only able to spend, say, $1 million. Because what that does, in my humble view, it sort of expands the distance between the top and the bottom. So I'm interpreting that to mean that it waters down the product, and they're trying to avoid that. They're trying to have it be more competitive. Iron sharpen iron, they say. So if we read the piece, and it's quite a long piece, I'm not going to read all of it because it might take me the whole program. The verdict has been announced in Manchester City's legal case against the Premier League over the league's rules on commercial deals involving clubs' owners. City, who are owned by the Abu Dhabi-backed City Football Group, had some complaints upheld with 2 aspects of the associated party transaction, that's an APT, rules deemed unlawful by a tribunal. But the Premier League says the tribunal rejected the majority of Manchester City's challenges and, I quote, endorsed the overall objectives, framework, and decision-making of the APT systems, end quote. APTs are aimed at the value of sponsorship deals with companies linked to clubs owners. This case is not directly related to the Premier League Disciplinary Commission, which will hear 115 charges. Yes, you heard me right. 115 charges against City for allegedly breaching its financial regulations, some of which date back to 2009. 15 years. Wow. These guys don't let anything slip, man. 15 years of violation, Man City. No wonder they're winning the championship all these years, man. No wonder, man, you're getting some blows from them and things. According to the people on the streets, they cheat. I'm only kidding with that, of course. The tribunal, in a 170-page document, that's a lot of reading. Anybody gonna read 175 pages? Maybe it might take them about a month and a half, I don't know. The tribunal ruled that shareholders' loans should not be excluded from the scope of APT rules, and that some amendments made in February by the Premier League should not be retained. So you take some, you lose some. In this arbitration process, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Everton all acted as witnesses for City. That's interesting. They say witnesses for City. However, on another piece I read, there are some 8 teams, I think, who actually gave evidence against Man City. And to give you an idea, Newcastle was one. And, you know, the heavyweights, Man U to the world, Man United, that was another. So those are 2 of the big clubs who actually gave evidence against Man City. And I think it's a case of wanting a level playing field for everybody and calling a spade a spade. It doesn't matter who is wrong, wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter who is right, right is right. That's all. Arsenal, Liverpool, West Ham, Brentford, Burnham, Fulham. So that's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2, Liverpool 3, West Ham 4. Gave evidence in favor of the Premier League, along with Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Wolves. Boy, and the panel consisting of Sir Nigel Tier, a retired High Court judge, Christopher Vijay Kessi, that's the King's Counsel, a former judge of the European Court of Justice, and Lord Dyson, former Justice of the Supreme Court. Oh boy, that's a heavyweight panel. And I suspect they're going to appeal, because that's all part of the legal process. A decision is made. You have a first appeal in some cases. You have one more in other cases. You may have 2. Are they going to the Court of Arbitration of Sport? I'm not certain. That's CAS. But we'll have to wait and how it works out. Both sides can claim victory. Man City, that's the article. How did we get here? What the Premier League says, what Manchester City say, what's next, concerns that clubs could be hit with additional costs. The Premier League feels it is okay. These are some subheadings of the article. And again, for those of you who would want to read it, it's bbc.com/sport/football/articles. And the page in question is /C as in cat, Q as in quote, 5, the number 5, E for I, Y for yellow, V for violet. That looks like an L for love, 7, N for nutmeg, G for green, O for Olympics. So you could log on and read the entire thing for yourself. And that's interesting in terms of the football. That's the Premier League. And Man U is one of the teams I back out there. Ajax, they are another. I don't really back any teams in Italy, Spain, nor France, but from a small boy, somehow I liked Ajax. And I always like Man U. So that's a bit of tidbits on football. That's a bit of tidbit on some cricket. We are going to get back to the cricket. We're going to touch some. Well, since we're in football, we might as well stay there. But we're going to touch some CONCACAF Nations League. We're going to touch some Leeward Islands cricket, the 50-over competition they had. Of course, we have to touch the CPL. And the West Indies would have named their team to 2 teams, a T20 team and a 50-over team to Sri Lanka. Plus, they have retained some players on contracts. So we are going to get back and touch that in a second or two.
Let's stop child sexual abuse. The age of consent is 16, yet our 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10-year-olds are becoming victims of sexual abuse and exploitation, which is being forced into sexual activity before they are old enough to decide. This causes mental, emotional, and physical harm to our children. Parents, it is your responsibility to protect and to educate your children. Develop a relationship of trust with your child. If they trust you, they will tell you. Child sexual abuse cannot be our norm. We must work together to correct this. Help us prevent, help us protect, help us prosecute. A message by the Department of Probation and Child Protection Services. Contact us at 467-1311 or 662-6833 for more information.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join Azar Gums, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. on WINN FM. Join Azar Gums as he breaks the mantle and cuts through the unfiltered political noise to bring you the facts. Unfiltered every Sunday evening on WINN FM 98.9.
Good evening again. Good evening. Welcome back to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. And we have been getting a little bit of stick, quite rightfully so, because we have not really been looking at the messages that come in on Facebook and or YouTube. And of course, the program is not only carried live on WINN FM 98.9 on the FM band, it's also carried live online, and it's streamed via Facebook and YouTube. And I must big up Mr. Eustace Hendrickson, and he is from Bass, the former manager for Elimat and the GA's Bass, a big name in cable and wireless, Scantel, and he retired. He moved to Texas. I'm not certain if it's Houston, but an ardent listener to the show. Good evening, Eustace. How are you, sir? And he is saying that he believes the current CPL winner should be included in the Global Super League that Guyana will be having. The question about that is, I don't know if Guyana are going to do that. If it was Guyana, well, they would have been killing or feeding two birds with the same stone. But they were in the finals. They were not successful. And I don't know if they're going to do it. But it's a good idea. Involve your home teams. The question is, could St. Lucia Kings match up to Mumbai Indians or Delhi Capitals, or who it was who won the IPL? I have to back check that. But it'll be a good test. And we're going to touch that CPL a little later. But if we stick with the football, and we are on the national and international squad list for CONCACAF Nations League. Home matches released. And this is coming from the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association, the SKNFA. Senior men's team head coach Francisco Molino has named his squad for the upcoming CONCACAF Nations League home matches. The squad comprises Julani Archibald, Kai Trotman, Ashawn Maynard, Kalonji Clark, Raheem Hanley, Omarion Liburd, Malik Roberts, Marvin McSheen, Devian Harvey, Mervyn Lewis, Niquan Brown, that's 11 so far, Tiquan Tyrrell, Johannes Mitchum, Kyle Kelly, Tiquani Williams, who is creating a lot of waves in terms of scoring, and they picked a CONCACAF Nations League 11, and he was included. I think Jelani was also included in that. Kyle Kelly, Tiquani Williams, Kimari Rogers, Dequan Hamilton, Giovanni Amory, Javon Matthew, 20, Chevon Boston, Jalen Burt, Deonis Stevens, Trimar Samuel, Jamali Connor, and 25, Romaine Sawyer. Well, at least Romaine Sawyer, that's a very familiar name. Harry Pine, can't remember his surname, but the English youngster, I noticed he's in there. And the selection of the national team, it has always been creating some discussion, creating some fiery debates. There are those who believe that too many nationals who are born abroad and playing abroad are included. And put another way, only a handful of local players are being used. Some persons would tell you, well, hey, forget about them. Just use all local persons. I am of the view that the best 20 should be picked, whether they're from here or they're from there, overseas. The thing about it, I don't believe our players, and this is my humble opinion, that the players are at the level generally of those persons out there. I'm talking about mentally, physically, emotionally, technically. Because our players, I don't believe they put in as much as they need to, as much as they should. And I don't believe the levels of discipline, and I'm not talking about discipline towards people, good morning, good afternoon. I am talking about discipline in terms of training. You know, you have to train 4 times a week for an hour and a half, and you not only train for an hour and a half, but you give it your best shot. You don't give it 40, 50, 60, 70%. You give it 85, 90, 100%. So that, in terms of nutrition, what they eat, there's a lot of chicken and chips and pizza and bread and cheese can't work. We need food, a well-balanced meal. Guinness and Red Bull as their favorite cocktail. They would have to work out something and sort out something with that, because I think the more serious athletes worldwide don't smoke, don't drink. They don't drink alcohol. Maybe not even a little wine. So I think our players here, our athletes here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and in the Caribbean, I suggest, will have to follow suit. So I don't have a problem if most of the players come from overseas, and that is national players live overseas. So I don't have a problem with that. So that's the 11, the 25 that's going to come. Who the starting 11 going to be? We'll have to wait and see. And we are going to be playing 2 matches at Warner Park, the British Virgin Islands and the Cayman Islands. And you recall we would have defeated both of them. The matches were played in the Cayman Islands. And I think it's going to be something similar. The outcome is going to be similar here. I don't expect any upset as it were. St. Kitts and Nevis, we are ranked 141. We're up 5 places, And I am thinking that's because we would have defeated BVI 4-1 and Cayman Islands as well. When we look at the Cayman Islands, they are down at 100 and actually the British Virgin Islands, they are 208 and the Cayman Islands are 195. Not a great lot of difference between 195, the Cayman Islands, and 208, the ranking of the British Virgin Islands. And that's according to the FIFA list, and this was released on the 19th of September. However, when you look at 140, St. Kitts and Nevis 141 compared to the 198, 2008 and the 195. It's a big gap there. So persons would expect that St. Kitts and Nevis would win. However, people would always respond. 1, the ball is round. 2, it's 11v11. And everybody playing on the same rectangular field. Now, put the Caribbean ranking into perspective in terms of a CONCACAF point of view. The Confederation of the Caribbean and Central America. North Caribbean, Central America. Mexico, who are ranked number 17 in the world, they're ranked number 1 in CONCACAF. The USA, 18 in the world, 2 in CONCACAF. Panama, this team has surprised me. Panama, they are 3rd in CONCACAF, 37 in the world. Canada, 4th at 38 in the world. Costa Rica, 5th at 50 in the world. Jamaica, 6th at 61 in the world. Honduras, 7th, and that would mean that Jamaica, they are number 1 in CFU, the Caribbean Football Union. Honduras, that is what, 7th? 77th, and they're 7th in the world. El Salvador, 80th in the world, and they'll be 8th. Haiti is 86 in the world, they're 9 in CFU. Curacao, 88 in the world and 10. No, Trinidad and Tobago, they are outside the top 100 in the world. They are 101. And then we have Guatemala, Nicaragua, Suriname, St. Kitts and Nevis. So in CONCACAF, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 15 in CONCACAF. 15 out of 30 something. 15 out of 40 something at the end of the day. That isn't too bad. And we have the big guns, Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica ahead of us. We have generally all of the the Central American bigwigs, the Costa Ricas, El Salvador's, Honduras's, etc., ahead of us. And we are holding our own. Suriname is ahead of us as well. Trinidad and Tobago, Haiti, Jamaica. So we are sort of holding our own, 5th in CFU. So what will be the outcome of this match? These matches, I should say, that is going to be interesting. And this match is all part of the CONCACAF Nations League. And the league is divided into 3 categories. You have League A, Pool B, and Pool A. You have League B and League C. And guess what? We are in League C. So to give you an idea what's happening so far in League A, and these are the top 6 teams that made the playoffs for our competition, the World Cup qualifiers, along with those teams that qualified. They got direct bye. So in League A, Costa Rica, well, let me start at the bottom. Martinique, everybody played 2 matches. Martinique, they've won none, drawn 1, lost 1. So they have 1 point. Guyana, the same thing, but they're a better goal difference. Guadeloupe in fourth, 3 points, winning 1. Suriname, they've also won 1, lost 1, 3 points, better goal difference. Guatemala in second, winning 1, drawing 1, 4 points. Costa Rica in first, winning 1, drawing 1. In League A Group B, some may argue maybe this one is not as tight as the first, but I'm not so sure about that. Trinidad and Tobago, they've drawn 1, lost 1, 1 point. French Guyana, the same thing. Cuba, they've drawn 2 matches, so they're in fourth with 2 points. Honduras, 1-1, lost 1, 3 points in third. Nicaragua, 1-1, drawn 1, 4 points. Jamaica, 1-1, drawn 1. So Jamaica holding their own in League A. In League B, Group A, Montserrat lost 2 matches. Bonnier, draw 1, lose 1, 1 point. St. Vincent and the Grenadines win 1, draw 1, 4 points. El Salvador winning 2, they have 6 points. They are number 1. In League B, wow, St. Vincent and St. Lucia really coming on strong here and surprising me. I must say St. Martin, they've lost their 2 matches. Grenada in fourth, winning 1, losing 1. Curacao winning 1, losing 1. Both of them on 3 points. Curacao, a better goal difference. St. Lucia, they have won both matches so far. And I remember a time that I may argue the OECS football may have been a little stronger than us. I know we won the OECS championships back in 1985, I think it was, with Tini and Deco and Pepe and those guys. We had the Leeward Islands Championship. There was a Leeward Islands Football Championship, and there was a Windward Islands Football Championship. And the winner of both Leewards and Windwards played against each other. And I think they used to beat us more time than many. But things have changed. I remember Dominica came here, and they played us in the park, and there were some issues. But anyway. So in Group League B, Group D. Sorry, no, we can't go. From B, we have to go to C. And we are in League B. 16 teams. Aruba lost all 2 matches. St. Martin. St. Martin, which one is this? This looks like the Dutch one. They're spelled differently. This is Saint Martin, Sintmarten. The French is Saint Martin, Martin. So the French, they are in Group B, they're in fourth. The Dutch, they are in League B, Group C, they are third, winning 1, losing 1. Puerto Rico, winning 1, losing 1. Same as St. Martin, but better goal difference. Haiti, they are perfect record, 2 from 2 on 6 points. This is an easy stroll in the park for Haiti. And if I make a guess, I'll say Puerto Rico are going to be second in that zone. You can't keep your eye off for Curacao. Most of these guys in Curacao play football in Holland because they're Dutch. So, League B, Group D. Antigua and Barbuda fourth, losing 2 matches. Dominica, winning 1, losing 1. They are 3 points. Bermuda, winning 1, losing 1. They are 3 points in second, better goal difference. Dominican Republic, winning 2 and 6 points. They're holding their own. Now, did I call Montserrat in Group B, League B? Yes, I did. Did I call St. Kitts and Nevis in League B? No, I didn't. Because St. Kitts and Nevis, we are in League C, the third tier of CONCACAF competition, so to speak. And I remember when Montserrat went through and we didn't. Boy, that was a knock. Because gone are the days we used to meet Montserrat and give them 12, 15, however, whatever. But what has happened, especially since the volcano in 95, a lot of their players have been playing in England. And just like us, they are, well, not like us, they are British territory. But just like us, they bring home a lot of their players who are born in England of Montserrat parentage. So, although they're smaller than us, they have a good pool, a quality pool. So League C Group A, US Virgin Islands, draw 1, lose 1. And there are only 3 teams in these pools. That's 9. I don't know why they didn't have 2 zones of 5 and 4, but anyway. Turks and Caicos, and they are home and away matches. So Virgin Islands win 1, draw 1, lose 1. Bahamas draw 1, lose 1 as well. Better goal difference. Barbados winning 2. In League C Group B, Turks and Caicos losing 2. Anguilla drawing 1, losing 1. Winning 1, losing 1. Well, good for Anguilla, they're coming on. And Belize winning 2. League C, St. British Virgin Islands losing 2. Cayman Islands winning 1, losing 1. St. Kitts and Nevis winning 2. So that is very interesting. And we are going, again, we are having 2 matches here against the teams we would have played in the Cayman Islands. So we are going to go, that was our away leg. We are now going to have the home legs here in St. Kitts. And just hold a second while I get some data here. We would have defeated the British Virgin Islands 2-0, and we would have defeated the Cayman Islands 4-1. I expect us to win the 2 matches. On Tuesday, October 15th at Warner Park at 3:30 p.m., mind you. This is not an evening or night match. 3:30 p.m. we are playing the Cayman Islands. Next week, Tuesday, the 15th. I'm going to miss it because I'm going to be here. Well, no, I'm not going to miss it. I'm actually going to be back here because I'll be off island for a few days. I'm heading to El Salvador, where the International Tennis Federation of the Americas, that's the table tennis equivalent of like CONCACAF. They are having their General Assembly, which is an elective assembly. They are voting for president, vice president, etc. And the incumbent is Mr. Juan Villa of the Dominican Republic. He is going up against Mr. Aluo out of Brazil. So we're going to have to wait and see how that is going to work out. But it sounds and it's looking like Juan will be returned for another 4 years. And it's a 4-year term. We'll have to wait and see. But it's the first time St. Kitts and Nevis will be attending this ITTF Americas' General Assembly. And really we need to. It's an expensive venture. But we need to attend these as well as the ITTF proper. We need to attend these meetings so people could get those persons at that high level would realize, boy, look, it looks like St. Kitts and Nevis is serious about table tennis. And we meet people, we should be able to discuss partnerships, sponsorship, assistance in training, funding, grants, equipment, uniforms, and things like these. So we have to attend, and we have not been because of funding. So that's another thing. But going back to the football, 3:30 at Warner Park. Remember, our lights have been deemed not adequate enough for football at this level. So that is why the match is being played at 3:30. So technically by 5:30 it is finished. And because these are the shorter days of the year. Sun does set quick according to old people. And then we are having, that's the 15th. I have to confirm when is the second match. But both matches will be played at Warner Park. So we say congratulations to the selectees and the best wishes for them, to them, and go on out and wear your colors, support the St. Kitts and Nevis Sugar Boys. I suspect they'll be playing in their traditional red jerseys. And I'll argue, I believe the best jersey we would have ever had would have been one way back with Pepe and Deco, where they were green and red and gold with some diamond spikes in the ear and coming down, etc. There were two versions, the green version and the red version. But I like to see those, and I was told by some persons they believe that's the best. But we're going to go to another break, and we're expecting, I must apologize, we were to have a guest to talk about cricket in the first hour. That didn't materialize. We had some issues which we have to work out. The guests called in, and we just couldn't get it organized, but we will work on that next time around. But we are going to be having Mr. Donga Farrell in the studio with us anytime now, and he's going to be talking about some football he had there. Persons know Donga Farrell of Willful, Skillful fame, and he's out of Newtown, living in St. Martin now, but home is where the heart is. You could take a man out of the country, but you can't take the country out of a man's heart. So stick and stay, don't go away, and we will be back in a minute.
The radio station so hot, it's cool.
Good enough. You're listening to 98.9.
98.9 WINN FM. WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM. You found the sound. 98.9 WINN FM. Radio never sounded like this.
Radio never sounded like this, sounded like this.
98.9 WINN FM.
WINN FM.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
Welcome back to another edition of On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. I am Troy Bif Mills, and we are actually bringing this program to you. It's now 1 year, so this is our anniversary program per se. And I'm sorry I don't have any giveaways. I'll probably have to do that as some other time and maybe ask a few questions, give away some candy, some lollipops, or some top-ups. I don't know, but I'll have to sort that out. I got to think about some questions. But we're going to have Mr. Donga Farrell in the studio with us any moment. Now he's going to be talking some football. But while we're waiting for him, the CPL concluded. And Sunday night, and boy, oh boy, all kind of things. And just to refresh us, we remember in the eliminator, Barbados defeated Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago 168 for 3 from 19.1 overs when the lights went out. And, some persons are still having some concerns about this. Persons are saying that it was a deliberate ploy. Person was saying that the Guyanese people, whoever, wherever, turned off the lights and turned them on at the exact moment that they would have had 5 overs to play. So it would have been beautifully calculated if it is true. You have to turn it on at 9:55 p.m. and that would allow them to play 5 overs as an example. So it came on at 9:55. Because if that would have been a no decision, Trinidad and Tobago would have gone through by having been better positioned in the round robin. So Barbados Royals, they were set for the target 60 runs in 5 overs. That's like 12 runs and over. And they made 64 for 1 in 4.2 overs. So people abusing the Guyanese, saying that they fixed that, they deliberately do that. But anyway, the St. Lucia Kings, they defeated the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the qualifier number 1. St. Lucia Kings 198 for 5. The Guyana Amazon Warriors 106 for 4. Their target was 122 by the Duckworth, but they got nowhere there. So St. Lucia Kings went on to the finals, and Guyana Amazon Warriors had to play Barbados Royals in qualifier number 2. And Barbados Royals 148 all out. Guyana Amazon Warriors 149 for 2 from 14.3 overs. The target was 149. And here comes Sunday, the big event, the big finals. Guyana Amazon Warriors versus St. Lucia Kings. The Kings won the toss, and they asked Guyana to bat first. Guyana 138 for 8. And the other point, I thought Guyana weren't going to make 100. Because wickets start going early and they continued going regularly. At one point, they were like 50-something for 5. And the target was showing, the projected score was showing 122. And I'm thinking, well, okay, 122 should be an easy score for the Kings. But they eventually got to 138. And the Kings, 139 for 4 from 18.1 overs. Boy, they mash up this thing. So the Kings won by 6 wickets with 11 balls remaining. And it was something else, boy. I've never really seen teams go from one gear to another so fast in such a short period. God, Jones, the opening bat for the USA, he was batting down the order 5-6. And he was like 10 runs from 19 balls. And he and Chase were batting, and then the message came out, whatever Sammy told them, I don't know. Maybe if you win this match, we're going to pay for a holiday for you and your family in the pitons, the double pitons. I don't know. They're going to fet all the down Gozile. But these guys turn it off, and it's 30 runs came from an over, and then 27, and that was the end of the game. And it was interesting, but I really wanted the Kings to win. Outside, well, from the start, I did say I was backing, obviously, the Patriots. And because the Falcons, they are from the Leeward Islands, I was backing them second. And third was St. Lucia. For two reasons, they're from the Windwards. But that was the second reason. The first reason is why they hadn't won the match before, hadn't won this championship before, and I really wanted them to win. So, and they did, so congratulations to them. So it therefore means then all franchises have won a CPL championship at least once. Some have won it more than once. Some have won it once. And if we look at it, 2013, I think that was the first one. In Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain, Jamaica defeated Guyana. Jamaica Talawas defeated Guyana Amazon Warriors. So Jamaica, they were the first winners. And the second one in 2014, the Tridents defeated Guyana Amazon Warriors. Twice they gone finals, twice they Galix. Trinidad Red Steel came back and won it in 2015. They defeated the defending champions, the Tridents, in the finals. Jamaica Talawa again won it for the second time in 2016. The third time, Guyana Amazon Warriors in the finals, and not third time lucky. 2017, the first time St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots made the finals was against Trinidad and Tobago Knight Riders, and they won. 2018, Trinidad and Tobago Knight Riders, they are defending their championships, and they successfully did it, thus becoming the first team to win back-to-back, and they defeated the Guyana Amazon Warriors, who were in the finals. That's like the fourth time. The Barbados Tridents came in 2019 and won it for the second time against the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the finals for the fifth time. So I believe everybody was thinking that, why Guyana ain't going to win this thing. Trinidad came back and Tobago came back in 2020. That was the COVID year. And they defeated St. Lucia Zooks in the finals. So Trinidad going up 3. 2021, COVID year here in St. Kitts. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots defeated the St. Lucia Kings. Second time in the finals for them. Here at Warner Park. And boy, that was a year. 2022, Jamaica Talawa came back and they won it for a third time. 2022, defeating Barbados Royals. And that was in Guyana. 2023, last year, at long last, the Guyana Amazon Warriors won the CPL for the first time last year at the Providence Stadium in Guyana, 2023. They defeated Trinidad and Tobago. And they were defending their championship in 2024. And they were in the finals, but close but no cigar. St. Lucia Kings put a beating on the Guyana Amazon Warriors. So they've been in the finals for something like 6 times, and they've won it once. The good thing is that they were defending and they made the finals. The bad thing is that they didn't win. 2025 CPL, the finals, it looks like. It may very well be in Guyana. 2026, it's going to be in Kensington Oval, Bridgetown, Barbados. So when would we host CPL here in St. Kitts and Nevis Stuff House? I don't know. You're a cricket fan. I know you're a DJ. He's here asking me if cricket is the thing where you swing the bat in the air and you hit a home run. Not Tough House. That's baseball. I'm only kidding with that, guys. What is life without a little bit of fun? But we have our guest live in the studios. It's now 8:19. Mr. Dango Farrell. As we're going to take a 30-second break and we go and make sure he's comfortable and provide him with some coffee and some mints. And the only thing we're not going to provide him with is a bed, of course. And you can call 466-0989. That's our main number, or 662-0989. you can send a WhatsApp to me, 668-2055, or you can call some overseas numbers. I don't have them in my head, but I'll give them to you in a minute. UK numbers, you call 033-344-0065. In the USA, you call 718-285-6984. And in Canada, you call 305-921-4619. Let me repeat those numbers again. The local numbers, which is the landline as people call them, 466-0989. Or those with mobile, you can dial 662-0989. If you're in the UK and the time in the UK is something like a little after midnight, after 1, and you'll call, and we thank you for staying up to listen on the ball. We appreciate it. 033-344-0065. I repeat the number for the UK callers, 033-344-0065. In the USA, you call 718-285-6984. I repeat, 718-285-6984. And in Canada, 305-921-4619. 305-921-4619. That's if you want to ask Donga a question, you want to ask me a question, you want to know what's happening in sport, we'll gladly entertain you. But stick and stay, don't go away. We'll be right back in a sec. Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On The. Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On The Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On The Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball. Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune into On The Ball, a weekly tour show which is on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Bif Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and, of course, your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On The Ball with Troy Bif Mills on WINN FM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
WINN is 98.9. St. Kitts and Nevis listens to WINN FM.
98.9.
WINN FM 98.9. The radio station's so hot, it's cool.
You don't know. You're listening to 98.9.
98.9 WINN FM. WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN FM.
Welcome back. And hold a second before we get started. We have a caller live and lively on the line. Good evening, caller. You're live on WINN FM 98.9 on the ball. Thank you for calling.
Good night, host Mr. Troy Mills and your guest. After many years of trying, I mean, you're up now, you're celebrating your first anniversary. I've tried many times to get you, but I did not get in. I would like to congratulate Kenosha Kings on the historical victory. The game was exciting. You know, you couldn't leave your seat. You didn't want to go anywhere. You just want to make sure you're there until the game is finished. I'm happy that they win. And just like you, I was back in the Patriot. Then I was back in the Falcon. Then St. Lucia Kings. You know? And I think we had a very good tournament. Now, many times Barbados, well, Guyana is in a good financial position now, so they could host because of the Eldorado they got on there now. You hear me, Troy?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm just listening to you. I'm trying not to interrupt you.
Yes, I'm saying because of the Eldorado they have in
You're
Guyana.
hearing me?
Yeah, I could hear you. There are many times that Barbados and Guyana them say they go host team. And when the time comes to pay up, there's no money. So I just want you, as a mouthpiece for on the ball, to talk to the Minister of Sports. Let he put in his bid now, just in case that when the time comes to pay up, they ain't got the money. Remember, we host several games because of that too. Because we're in a very good financial position, and I'm certain that by the time the CPL come around next time, things will be in a good financial position to host. Because there's tremendous benefit from hosting a game in a country, as you know. Well, good show as usual, Troy. I always listen, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you very much.
All right, then.
Thank you very much, caller. I dare say thank you very much, Eustace Hendrickson. I don't think anybody's going to miss that voice, Eustace. You sort of keep
Now, Troy.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people complaining about the three Trinidadians who is part of the commentatory group for the CPL, right? And instead of them making noise and complaining, we need to be advocating that we get more people from the island. Because how long it takes us to get anybody there? You had Tony Cozy and Red Spoero. They're going all over. We had lots of people in St. Kitts and Antigua and Nevis who was good. And I think that we have Ron Springer. He could be a good candidate. I think you could be a good candidate. And Carlisle Powell in Nevis. Those people could be good commentators. They are very knowledgeable about the game. And even DuPont. These people are well knowledgeable, and I think we need to be pushing for them. Instead, each territory got push for their own people, their own commentators, but I push in for people for St. Kitts and Nevis. And Yvonne and Springer is a critician anyway, you know? All right, then, Troy. Good night. Take care of yourself and drive safely on your way home.
Yes,
if you are on the road, all the best.
Thank you very much for calling in, Eustace. We appreciate that. A very ardent listener to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9 indeed. And he touched a very important point. The commentary team. We don't have, put another way, the commentators are basically former test players. That is the direction they are going. And more so, I remember in 2000 when they had the CPL here, the commentary team was actually in Trinidad. So they were looking at the game on a big screen TV and giving commentary. So the question was, why couldn't they incorporate local commentators here? And that's a very good question. And before I go back to Danga, and again, the lines are open 4660989, 6620989. You can call, share your views, and Danga is going to talk in some football and cricket. But early o'clock in the CPL, the start of the CPL, my uncle Neville Manny Weeks, who is in the US, he and I was speaking, and he mentioned the fact that he asked me if I realize that we don't really have any up and coming captains of the CPL teams. I didn't realize that. But when I looked at it, I reflected, I realized that's the case. One, the only two West Indians leading any team. Andre Fletcher was leading the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, and I think that we should have been using another captain after a few games, early o'clock in the campaign. I think we could have performed better if so many mistakes weren't made, bowling changes, field setting, etc. And Kyron Pollard, who is closer to the end than anything else. And when you look at all the other captains, they are non-nationals of the West Indies, so to speak. Imran Tahir and Faf du Plessis and things like that. So the question is, how would that benefit our West Indies team? How does that develop our West Indies team, so to speak? So perhaps that is something that needs to be looked at. See where we could train, put our youngsters on the studying. Of course not Bradford, because he's into the red ball cricket. And I think that perhaps we need to tell him thank you and let him concentrate on the batting. But anyway, we go live and directly to the studios. We say, good evening, sir. How are you? Welcome to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9.
Good evening to you, my good friend, Mr. Bif, Troy Mills. And good evening to the ardent listeners, those that are close and those that are far. I am Don Dango Farrell, originally out of St. Kitts.
Well, I know if you were out of Sandy Point, you would have said Sandy Point or SP were the best be. But I know you seems like forever Dango, trying to bowl some off-break batting high up in the order and playing football for Rivals, one of the key persons for Rivals, along with, what's his name? I worked with him for a few years with Cable and Wise, 5 Cent Father. He would have played Rivals and Lucky as well, played Rivals for quite a bit, Ibo, and things like that. So, you consider yourself a sportsman. You represented, the last time I saw you playing cricket, you were representing the St. Martin Masters. So you're between St. Kitts and St. Martin. But what has been happening with you? I understand that you organized some football tournament here recently. You want to tell us a little about it?
Well, yeah, Troy. Over the weekend, I had the very first George Yellowman Isaac U21 football tournament, organized by the Willful Skillful Sports Club. And by doing such, we basically had 8 participating teams for this year's tournament, and basically I must start off by saying thank you to the SKNFA, the president and his staff, giving us the opportunity to host the games at the National Bank Technical Center. The teams that played in the tournament for the very first time, the George Ellerman Isaac U21 tournament, as follows. You had the Eagles, Youth Stars, Rams Village Superstar, St. Paul's, Keon, Newtown, Bat, and that basically made up the 8 teams. So we had, Connery as well, the Fireball. So we had 2 zones that played, and during our meeting with the coaches and managers early on last week, the teams had the opportunity to pull to see which zone they would end up in. Unfortunately, they had a zone like it was the previous World Cup semifinals, meaning you had a zone there where you had Youth Stars, which is from the Old Road area. You had a Village. You had Village, Rams Village, Superstar. You had Connery Fireballs, and you had the Derby Eagles. So those were in one of the zone. Now, the one that came out as a football FIFA semi-final would have been Keon, Newtown, St. Paul's, and Bath United out of Nevis.
Power weights is heavyweights?
Yes, and that made it rather interesting on the first day. For me, the first of the tournament basically was the biggest, in a sense, where each zone, you must play 2 games. And you know how it is where you got 4 teams and it's only the top 2 coming out to play in the finals from each zone.
Semi-final?
No semi-finals.
Or the top 2, one from each? Oh,
one
okay.
from each zone. The top 2 from each zone comes out and play in the finals. The second runner-up from each zone comes out and play for the 3rd place and 4th place. And that is because time didn't permit us, These tournaments that I will normally keep in St. Martin every year. Nevertheless, I decided to bring one at home and to honor one of our football icon, Mr. George Yellowman Isaac. Normally, when I have those tournaments, Biff, in St. Martin, we will start off by playing the Friday evening. We will come back on the Saturday morning, come back the Saturday evening, come back the Sunday morning to play the semifinals, and then in the evening we have the 3rd place and the finals. But our managers cry out and say it's going to be too much load for the youths. But you're talking now 20 years and under. And matter of fact, this is the second time we have done 20 and under. Normally our tournaments used to be U17. But this is our second time we have done 20 and under. Last year we did the 20 and under on the French side of the island. And this year now, I brought it to St. Kitts. And we never tried to change up the format because it's youths, and we know they could recover fast. And then we still give you an opportunity to register around 25 players, So at the end of the day, you're getting an opportunity to give other players playing time. It's not everything is about winning. But as I said, our managers and coaches said it would have been too much weight. And because of that now, it boils down by not playing Saturday morning to play a 3rd game. It put a really big strain on some of the big dogs, per se, because there wasn't any draw in the games. As long as the game finished and the score is tied, we go straight into penalty kicks. So you find now in that zone where you had Keon, Newtown, St. Paul's, and Bath United, those games went right down to the wire penalty kicks. Good games, very good games. Unfortunately, what happened? Two of the big dogs gone home early, So they considered themselves just to say, bye, we coming to play for 3rd place now.
Yeah.
So at the end of it, sometimes the good book they say, or the old people they say, when you come and you see things, leave it like how you see it. You understand? So you try to touch it, and then you run yourself in problem. But nevertheless, it was a very good first-time tournament here. We ran into some problems, but where there is a God, there will always be help.
Indeed.
And with me now, my blessings just run so deep and far. I always have to give him thanks because we're running a problem with officials. And I don't really want to take up the time to, speak about it so much here. But I am saying that we came from old school. And coming from old school don't mean that we have to do things back like in 1960s. But at the end of the day, you got to able to give and take. So I'm saying that now is like nobody wants to do nothing for sports now for free. And I've seen it throughout the island. Every little sporting event, the officials wants to make sure they get money in their pocket. And they are forgetting the real purpose of what these games are all about. As I'm saying now, I went as far as to have a scout being on the island of St. Kitts. He visited Nevis too, but he had been here for over 8 days. Nobody knew him. He didn't want to be mentioned. He just wanted to just stick around and watch the games and see who youngster he could see to give a helping hand later down with the talent. He was a bit disappointed to see the behavior of the officials in terms of they want what they want, otherwise they ain't being a part. So it's like there's no more assisting to get you over the hump. Everybody telling themselves that anytime they do anything for sports, they want pay. And they keep leaving out the most important part of it. Yes, officials is important, but the players, what happened to the players? The players ain't making it nice. The players just want to showcase the talent. So I think we're faced with that over the weekend in a very big way, and I have to thank this gentleman. One of St. Kitts past superstar, a man by the name of Pepe Elvis Isaac. And I don't think if people hear the name, they won't forget what he have done for football in the federation. And nevertheless, he was there to officiate all the games on Friday. All. When I tell you all, I mean all.
Pepe alone officiate all the games on Friday.
Pepe Isaac alone. Pepe Isaac alone officiated all the games. And I ain't want to bash anybody. But it's like we live in an island that no one name helping now. Or nobody knows one name contributing the time. So I think that is where a lot of us just fall on the west side. Because now today, you want to come and charge me for this. And then tomorrow now you want to come and take that other thing from me for free.
Well, we're not charging you to be on the ball, just to put the record straight. And we appreciate you having being here with us. And what were the positions at the end of the day? Who won? Who played in the finals, and who won, and who played for third place, and who won?
Well, you're moving me off of my point quickly, but
yes, I am, because we have just about 7 more minutes left.
Okay, well, sounds good. So we're going to wrap up everything now. Basically, the games that was played Friday was really a ding-dong battle. The oldest one that really didn't get an opportunity to put up a great fight was the Connery Fireballs, But all of the other games went down pretty great on Friday. Then we came back on this Saturday to wrap it up before you could get the first place and from each group and the second place from each group. So on the Sunday, where we had the third place game, that was a pretty exciting one as well. That came down between Honda Newtown, and Rams Village Superstar. Pretty great game as well with some youngsters.
East games, West going to always be.
Yeah, it was really good. Really exciting to see. And then the surprising apple was the Youth Stars from down in Old Road. they actually ended up in the finals in their group, the number one spot, sorry. So they played in the finals against SL Hartford St. Paul's, which at the end of the day, the results ain't really tell it like that. It was a pretty exciting game, you know. Overall, during the final, I will give St. Paul's the edge. But eventually, they was able to win the game 2-0 still, you know. But I applaud the Youth Stars because nobody gave them a chance. And they ended up in the finals, you know.
The ball is round.
Exactly.
11.
Exactly, you know. And so we had Newtown. Newtown came in at third position, beating Rams Village Superstar 1-0 in the third place game. And St. Paul's ended up winning the very first George Ellerman Isaac Cup. We also had some individual awards that was given out. We had best goalkeeper, best defender, best midfielder, best striker, most goal MVP, and also the most talented player that played in the tournament, the most skilled player that played in the tournament. In regards of the best goalkeeper, that went, and also we had the most disciplined team as well too. That disciplined team went to TGE, the Eagles. You know, I think they basically handled themselves in a pretty great way, you know. And they was awarded the most disciplined team. The most skillful player was Hazan out of the 100 Newtown, Marshall, you know. So he was basically the most skillful player in the tournament in regards to showcasing what he have. Then we have the most goals went to Dickwan Hamilton of Youth Stars. Dickwan Hamilton of Youth Stars. Best striker went to Ronaldo Macho of TGE, the Eagles. Best midfielder went to Kaji Simmons of the Hyundai Newtown United. Best defender, Carl Newton of Rams Village Superstars. Best goalkeeper went to Jevon Leader of the SL Hartford St. Paul's United. And also the MVP of the tournament went to Jevon Leader as well of the SL Hartford St. Paul's United.
That's the goalkeeper?
Yes, that's the same goalkeeper.
Hey, it's always something special when a goalkeeper is the MVP of not a match, not only a match, but a tournament as well. A lot of people don't see the goalkeepers, eh?
Yeah, that is pretty true.
They see all the guys scoring goals, but they don't see the guy stopping the goal because your attack starts with the goalkeeper.
Well, during the full run of the games, he had a very clean sheet. No goals at all scored on him.
Okay.
You know, and goals only scored on him in the penalty shootout, and he still did a great job there. You know, but overall, he was really outstanding. He was really outstanding. The other one that was really, really outstanding for me is the most skilled player. He is one of the smallest body player that was there. You know,
that's interesting.
But the way how he handles himself, it makes me feel like he came out of the roots of one of them players way back in the past. Even to bring up like a David and a Izom out of Newtown, you know, one of those star lads that was there in the past. You know, but overall, I think this tournament was pretty exciting, pretty competitive, you know, amongst the teams, and we was able to see some very, very good disciplined football from all of the teams.
What caused you to come up with this competition, and why St. Kitts?
That's a very good question, Biff. as I said, normally every year, these is tournaments that I would put on in St. Martin. And then, coming home throughout this year, seeing what I'm seeing and watching some of the Premier Division teams. And I'm saying, boy, some of these teams have some old guys, and I believe that some young breed could come in and do good. If you recognize the last World Cup, we had players there playing for teams 17 years old.
16, 17, yeah.
So I am saying that the youth, them just need a fair chance. So instead of keeping my U21 tournament only in St. Martin, I put it for December, the second weekend in December in St. Martin, and I decided that I could bring one home. So I took the phone and I called the president of the SKNFA. I discussed it with him. He gave me the green light. Matter of fact, he actually, they put off the weekend games that they was to have to accommodate this tournament. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful for that. And as I say, I just wanted to give the youngsters of St. Kitts an opportunity. And because my very good friend, as a scout, been traveling around to St. Martin, I said, man, let me go St. Kitts for a week. Then he invited over his family. He came and he stayed during the time when Willful Skillful Sports Club was here as well the weekend before. He stayed in his hideout, his normal hideout spot as a scout, and then he have some names that from teams, players and numbers from teams that participated, but he said he's not going to do anything with them as yet. He's going to wait until later down. Scouts does operate. They will still come around and do their little homework, because I could tell you, he left yesterday, but he will be back by the end of next week.
That is good.
So you just want to give the youth some opportunity. So coming up with the idea was, keeping one in St. Kitts instead of keeping the normal routine one that I just keep in St. Martin. I pushed that back till the second week of December, and I also give the clubs of St. Kitts Nevis an opportunity to come down and be a part of that one. This year we're going to have a team out of Param, Antigua.
Okay.
We look forward to have one from the BVI. I'm dealing with that, and it's looking good. We're going to have one from Anguilla. Now we're going to have French and Dutch teams. So if we get our neighboring island, St. Kitts and Nevis, that make it more exciting.
Indeed.
Because in the past, that is exactly what we used to do.
Before we go on, Bath. I commend Bath highly. I think Bath is the only team over the past few years that has competed in every football competition that the SKNFA has. When some people can't find a woman team, Bath finding a woman team. When some people can't find under 15, Bath finding it. Bath finding under 17. Bath finding under this, under that. So I commend them highly for doing that. And it's extremely expensive, because when they're going to come to St. Kitts to play their matches, let's look at the Premier League, when they're going to have 18 matches and they're going to be playing like 14, 13, or 12 in St. Kitts. I think it's only fair, and I'll fight and advocate the cause for them to play half the matches in Nevis, because when Newtown, for example, go to Nevis, they only have that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to pay once. But when Bath come down here for 9 games, that's 6 9s are what? $54,000 at $6,000 a pop. So I commend them highly. But the time is slipping away. Danga, quickly, you're not only a football man, you're a cricket man. And over the years, you've been having you tell us about the special competition that you've been having. You've held it most times in St. Martin, a few times here in St. Kitts.
Yes, and we're now talking about the Luther Kelly over 35 cricket tournament.
Luther Shotgun Kelly.
Yeah, and this year is going to be our 15th
1-5.
1-5.
Already, boy?
Of the tournament.
Wow,
and the time
flies.
just really flies. So it's going to be a special one. It's going to be the weekend of the 29th of November, the 30th of November, and the 1st of December. Now, Biff, when we started out with this tournament, quickly, we used to give out trophies. But then I recognized, boy, you're giving big man over 35 a trophy that costs $30, $40, $50, you know. I think we gone past that stage. When you reach a certain age in life, to get a trophy, you wouldn't even leave the field with it so much. So I decided that I wanted to make it special. I wanted to make the players comfortable. So after about the first 2 times or 3 times of the tournament, we moved from giving trophies and we started to give 36-inch television, powered speaker, very big powered speakers, and a lot of other different things to make the players itself comfortable. But this year, by God spare our lives, we're not giving those small stuff. This is our 15th anniversary, and we're looking forward to give to the players, which is the most exciting players in terms of best batsman, best bowler, best wicket keeper, MVP, and those things. We're looking forward to give those guys 50-inch flat screen TVs.
50-inch flat screen TVs, eh?
Yes.
I wonder if it's too late for me to register with the team to play. Why?
I don't know which team you would register with. I mean, register is a difference than winning.
I'm playing, yeah. but that's an excellent idea. I don't think I've heard of that idea before. So I must commend you highly for it, Danga.
Well, you know, again, all praises goes to the one above. He's the inspirational one. The messenger to sports. And, you know, this is my life. This is what I love doing. I love playing sports, organizing sporting event, you know. So we're basically just happy to do it for the people and with the people.
Well, Danga, we have just about 33 seconds. So quickly again, could you tell us the teams that will be playing and the dates?
Well, this year's Luther Kelly tournament, we decided to stick with what we started with, which is Team St. Kitts, Team Nevis, Team Anguilla, Team St. Martin. And St. Martin is the defending champion this year. And I recognize, I can tell you quickly, I do a lot of scouting too. None of the teams them coming with players over 40 now. Everybody coming with players between the age of 35 and 39, which is more competitive. You know? So the tournament is going to be on the weekend of the 29th, 30th of November, and the 1st of December.
Okay.
Right in Sunshine City, St. Martin.
St. Martin. Any provisions made for people going down to watch the game from St. Kitts to Nevis?
Yes, every year, the Nevis side of it, for the past 5 years, I think the less they have traveled with is maybe like 25.
Okay.
They always have a very big and huge group coming with them, players and supporters and shoppers. The St. Kitts end of it is basically around the same thing. These 2 islands now, they travel, some travel on the boat, some travel on the plane, you know. So it's always a time where they come to shop, come to play cricket, and have fun still. So we've been always looking forward to organize places that the players could go and shop and get a 15%, a 20%, a 10%, you know. So at the end of the day, you're not just coming to play cricket. And the schedule is organized now in a way that you don't have to spend all of your day on the cricket field, the Carib Lumber cricket field. We give you an opportunity early, like the Friday and the Saturday, so you could go, do your shopping, put your stuff on the boat, pack your stuff in your bag and set up yourself to leave when you're leaving on Monday. Now, over the years with this tournament, we have always had some friends and families coming out of England. When I say friends and family, I consider Harwood Williams to be a family of mine. You know, my family in St. Martin accept him as their family as well too. And out of the 15 years, I think he have missed maybe 2 or 3.
Wow, that's a lot.
You know,
attending a lot, that is.
Right. And he don't travel alone. Even from the very first time he came, he never came alone. And this year, we're looking forward to much more. One of the person already booked to come as a young man that went missing in action from cricket in St. Kitts because of his studies and everything, a young man by the name of Colin Cannonier, where everybody used to call Cushin.
Yeah, man, Cushin ain't playing cricket for forever.
Well, he's playing where he lived, though, and doing well, so he's going to be there playing this year in the tournament. And I tell you, this year tournament going to feature a lot of the young 35s. I understand Christian Carey is going to be with the St. Kitts team. Terrence Ward is going to be with the team. I mean, Shane Jefford have been there as well, too. Ezra Powell. But also, I don't know the name of the players in Nevis, but the oldest player that they have right now in the Nevis team is somewhere around the age of 38, they said.
Wow, okay.
So everybody is gearing up. But remember now, it's St. Martin, they got to come. The home of a place that play cricket 365 days.
And play T20.
Right.
A lot of T20.
Yeah. So, again, I want to thank you, Biff. We look forward for seeing you in Sunshine City, St. Martin, the weekend of the 29th, 30th, and the 1st of December for the 15th Luther Kelly over 35 cricket tournament.
Ouch. White Danga. I can't make that. The St. Kitts Nevis Table Tennis Association, I'm the president. We're having a level 1 coaching course that starts that weekend and goes on to the following weekend for a 10-day period between there. And I started looking at it seriously, But so when you hear talking, I say, why the 29th and things, something is on right in there for me. And I completely forgot about it until just now because I was really making plans, and I do apologize for that. But obviously, being the president of the St. Kitts and Nevis Table Tennis Association, I have to give that my priority. But congratulations to you. I like the idea to doing this thing, going for 15 years. It tells me that you have been doing something tremendously well. Of course, I don't expect you to get everything right every year. Something to go a little hiccup for whatever reason or reasons. We are humans. And Murphy is alive and well. And Murphy's always around us. You know, Murphy's like anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And Noah actually added a piece to it. Noah says anything can go wrong will go wrong. So perhaps it should change to Noah and Murphy's law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and at the most inconvenient time, the most inappropriate time.
That is true.
It always works so. But Danga, thank you for coming to WINN FM 98.9 with us, and thank you for spending some time. And the competition you had, the George Yellowman Isaac tournament, thank you for putting on that, and congratulations for it. I think it's a wonderful idea. And also the Luther Kelly 30 shotgun
over 35
cricket tournament that's been going on for 15 years now. That takes a lot of doing, and I would have looked at it 2 years ago. Last year it was here. Was it last year, year before last?
Year before.
So last year it was in St. Martin as well.
Yes.
Wow, time flies fast, but I was saying his last year was in St. Kitts. Time really flies. But congratulations, and keep up the good work, my boy. And I know you follow a lot of English football, Man U to the world.
Never change.
Yeah. All right. And you've been listening to the man, Dango Farrell, ardent sportsman, ardent promoter, ardent organizer, the man in charge of Willful, Skillful, and they even have a band tour, and the band was here for Carnival last year, was it?
We was here for Carnival last year, and we will be back this year with a troop out of St. Martin.
Serious?
Yeah. We're looking at least a 200 plus strong.
Wow. Willful, Skillful.
Willful, Skillful, yes, organization with the Skillful band and other artists. We're looking forward to roam the road of St. Kitts.
I always like the name, Willful, Skillful. How you came up with the name, by the way?
You just told me I only had some
Yeah, well, you do. You see me producer here running me, but 5 seconds. How you come up with Willful, Skillful?
It came off a young man that was really skillful. And at the end of the day, he was really willful as well, too. And, you know, I had the opportunity to play in a independence football tournament in Newtown, and I couldn't find any name. And Casper and Penny and those guys from McKnight. I hear them guys with the name of the team. One name bread and saltfish, one name bread, half a bread with cheese. So it was pretty funny. And then I can't find a name for my little team. And then I see Mr. Skillful coming to the fence over there. And I could remember I normally would call him Willful. And now we used to call him Skillful after a while. I used to call him Willful because of the situation with he being that skilled and he got the opportunity to showcase his talent, you know, and he turned on and sell the boots them for next to nothing.
You see?
Yeah. I don't want to.
I always like the name, Dango, Willful, Skillful. But yes, this is a sports program, but in your organization, you would have lost one of your players. I think it's the bassman from the Willful, Skillful band. A few months ago, I think it was.
Yes.
So on behalf of the management and staff, the board of directors, myself and On the Ball and my producer, Tough House Sound, we extend condolences. Well, the Tough House Sound is telling me Willful, Skillful band is he band. You know, he's a DJ and things like that. But I extend condolences to your band, a very young player. I think he was tall. He looked very athletic. And condolences. But congratulations for the work you're doing and the best wishes to you again and your organization for your future programs.
Well, thank you, Buff. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here and sharing sports information with you and the rest of your listeners, those that are close or those that are far. You know, thanks again for giving me the opportunity to be in here on WINN FM 98.9 FM.
And you're on the ball and stay on the ball.
Yes.
And you've been listening to Dango Farrell live and direct right here in the studios of WINN FM 98.9. And we're going to be heading off, and it's the end of the program. Wow, time flies. And I do thank you. But before I go, there's a cricket tournament, a T20 cricket tournament happening in St. Paul's from the 12th of October to the 23rd of November. Saturdays, games are played at 2 p.m. Sundays, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the St. Paul's Sports Complex. We're having Young Guns, United Police Cricket Club, St. Paul's Cricket Juniors, SKN Thunder Strikers, La Poinciana, and the St. Paul's Club Seniors. And the first game, 12 October, 2 p.m., St. Paul's Stingrays versus Police. And the 13th at 10 a.m., Project Stars versus SKN Thunder Strikers, 2 p.m., La Poinciana versus Young Guns. That's the 12th and the 13th of October. And this competition is sponsored by the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, the Honorable Dr. Joel Clark, Carrie Brewery, and DJ Murray Show. And it's been organized by the St. Paul's Cricket Club. And I must commend Mr. James Ward and his team for doing this, because he's doing a tremendous job in St. Paul's with the cricket. Mr. James Ward, he produced Lashawn Bergen, who I expect to be going on to do big things, make the West Indies on the 19, West Indies on the 17, on the 19, and play for the senior team in the years to come. And he had a young lady, Delia Weeks, who went to England with the West Indies Rising Stars on the 19 female. So something I keep down in St. Paul's. So I commend James Ward on what he is doing. And I encourage everyone to go on out and support them. They will be well-stocked bar with food and drinks. But go on out and support the St. Paul's Cricket Club. If it's one competition, if it's one time in the year, you could be assured that cricket will be played. It will be in St. Paul's, organized by the cricket, the St. Paul's cricket team. You've been listening to On the Ball here at WINN FM 98.9. I was really pleased and honored to be your host tonight as usual. And it has been our first anniversary. We started this program the 10th of October 2023 when it was 1 hour. The second edition was held on the 24th. It was meant to be 1 hour program every other week, but because of the content and the way it was and the the ideas. Management and staff say, no, we have to do this every week for 2 hours, 7 to 9. So it was indeed a pleasure. And I thank you, the listeners, for actually making yourself available to listen to the program, and to the caller, as well as the persons who are sending messages. And again, feel free to call us. We encourage your ideas. We encourage your critique. Tell us how we can improve what you're not happy with. Make your suggestions. It's not all about the stats and telling you who win. It's the development of sports and sports personnel. And in terms of table tennis, we're going to be having a table tennis camp shortly, and that will be in Nevis. So persons between the ages of 6 and 16, table tennis players in Nevis, if you want to get in table tennis, contact Mr. Gary Wade out in Nevis, or you can give me a call. We're going to have, and that's going to be on a Saturday from 9 to 1. We are fine-tuning the date. And then the 29th to the 7th of December, we are having an ITTF Level 1 coaching course for 5 days, and then a table tennis camp, and that will be happening down at St. Paul's. So table tennis, and I'm off. I'm heading to El Salvador to attend the ITTF Americas General Assembly, and it is an elective assembly, and that is happening on Friday coming the 11th, God's Spear. And as I slip away, I am remembering those persons up in Florida. There's a hurricane heading their way. It was category 5 moving over the waters, and it is expected to hit them as either a category 3 or a category 4. So I encourage us to keep us in their prayers. And I have a nephew, Vakil, he's living up there. He's into the boating and kayaking and jet ski business. And the hurricane that went a few weeks ago, he suffered a little damage. He is preparing a little better, but I'm keeping him in my prayers. And let us keep all of them. A lot of evacuations have started happening already. So please keep them in your prayers. And as I slip away, thank you for listening. And always be positive in your thoughts, in your words, in your actions. Have a good night, and join us next week. Godspeed.